4,440 pounds. A new generation of 239 Passport rolling in here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan with some pretty major updates. Like at a glance, it looks like the same Passport it's always been. However, these now feature a full walk-on snow load roof versus a service-only roof, a rear cargo door to the bunkhouse, and power stabilizer jacks all the way around to make setting up and breaking down camp push button easy. And it's not by accident. This has become one of, actually it might be, I believe it is, Passport's most popular floor plan out there. It brings a lot of big hitter features to the table. Like you saw that it is completely carpetless, ventless, easy cleaning. We have the awesome campsite window coverage over here. And it's kind of two floor plans in one, because this Murphy bed setup, what it does is it gives us like the space and the seating of a slide out without the length, weight, and cost of a slide out. That's where this one really kind of is sneaky. Now you might have noticed a little light click off there. In the pass-through and by the entry door, there are motion activated lighting. But if you want to just hard turn it on or off, you can do that. But what's nice is when you come home at night, you'll be able to see what you're doing, but that window won't be glowing, so you won't have that like awful like cloud of gnats by the door building up. Both windows on either side of that bed open for airflow. You can see how they've accented that front wall beautifully here. But what's really cool about Passport's Murphy bed, this is not a folding mattress. There's no like fabric fold seams in it. And it is a 60 by 80 Queen Murphy bed. They were one of the very first to offer that feature here in a layout like this. And really, you're kind of getting the best of both worlds here. Because you're getting a 60 by 80 queen bed, you're getting the expanded living space that gives you the living area of a slide-out camper without a slide-out thanks to the Murphy bed, and because there is that flip-up storage segment under the sofa right here, you're also still getting underbed storage, and you have side stands with household and USB plugs. There's a minimum of at least 10 USB plugs in every single Passport RV, even this little guy. And although I don't have it fully drawn, you can see that this does also have that privacy curtain. So you do have a front sleeper versus rear sleeper level of privacy. That is really one of the only drawbacks of a Murphy bed, is you're not going to really have an enclosed wall of a bedroom. What you do have with this though, and it has nothing to do with Murphy beds, that was a weird segue, is outlets all over the place. Both side stands, whether it's daytime use or nighttime use, you have a minimum of at least 10 USB plugs in every single Passport, even this little floor plan. Not to mention all of the different household plugs that you have through this RV. You also have just deceptively good kitchen storage capacity in this thing. It's fantastic, really. I also want to mention that this is all pocket screwed cabinetry. Even though this is the more basic, I guess you'd say smaller SL series, it has the exact same construction as the Big Brother GT. They don't scale that down. Similarly, you have that giant stainless farm sink, and that's all sealed edge press membrane kitchen countertop space there with a high-rise sprayer faucet. And you already saw how I kicked that sink cover out of the way here. So I have a question, and I think a few of you will get this. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? Because Passports have become a little bit of a basket case. And if you don't get that reference, don't worry, it's not like it was really that good and there was nothing to miss there anyway. But the point is, you got some serious storage under here. I love how they threw that shelf in there so that you got like big pots, pan space down below, you got tray space, you got a spot, you want a little biscuit tray or something like that, all kinds of things. And did you note that little countertop extension over there? I'm sure you saw, but I do want to consciously point that out. And as we pivot our way over here, even under the stove, they have storage space. Now you might be wondering, what's that little bump under the stove there? That's actually the wheel well. You'll see the same thing on the opposite side of the RV under the dining area. It's just kind of one of those necessary evil sort of things. Now the little carpet square I use to clean my feet when I walk in is currently kind of hanging out in that little shoe garage. It's a little clutter cutter. It keeps all the shoes in one place out of the way so you're not tripping on them every time you come in and out. Now there are a ton of small lightweight trailers that have been inspired by this model. We'll say that. I talk all the time about how RV R&D means rip off and duplicate. We'll say that they've been inspired by the 239 Passport. But one of the things here is this is a full 8-foot wide camper. And that means that it has a full 4-person dinette, and that folds down into a larger sleeper. We already talked about the big window over here on the camping side, and remember our windows do have pleated shades for privacy. And above here we have more storage space. Also, more of those handy USB outlets we talked about, and a very expandable entertainment system. This is Bluetooth and stereo, which is pretty normal. And what's become more common is face-mounted HDMI and USB plugs. So if you got a little handy Roku stick or something like that, or if you get one of those, like I've got that little jobber where I can plug my phone into an HDMI plug and I can stream any media I want off my phone through the entertainment system to the TV, I can. There is also storage behind the TV. You can get to it from this cabinet, but you can also just pivot the TV out of the way. The TV is acting, in a sense, like a pantry door. Now, up here, up top, there's a neat thing that a lot of Keystones do. Passport's done it for years, and it's easily overlooked. That is the fact that this skylight here is also like a heat exhausting vent. It's not just a skylight, so it's kind of serving two purposes. But back here in this bunk area, at a glance it looks pretty similar to previous generations, but they're doing a lot of good things. You've got breeze windows for the upper and lower bunk, household and USB outlets for the upper and lower bunk. But when we get down here, you can see the little cargo door peeking at us, and you get to see that this is kind of a 2-for-1 right here. Whether you're traveling or just at a destination, you could use this on a rainy day as a little bit of like a kiddo play space. Frankly, I would have loved it. This would have been my little Lego haven back here on a rainy day. But I wanted to point something out. This is a question people have a lot of times when cargo doors are involved in a bunkhouse area is security. So this deadbolts from the outside, but you notice there is no handle, no switch for a locking mechanism on the inside. So if you've got a boy that wants to sneak out at night and meet the little girl he met at the campground, that's not going to happen here. Now, it's not a fire safety concern. The floor plan is short enough, it still meets all fire safety code regulations. Just like before, there used to be no door back there. So it's not less safe than it ever was. It just provides more function, and that's a really important detail I kind of wanted to hit on there. Now, the bathroom back here remains largely unchanged, and that is not a bad thing. You've got good legroom, a full shower surround panel, and both a skylight and power vent fan to keep the air moving around in here. Also a nice thing, it's not just a mirror glued against the wall. It's a full medicine cabinet, and I like that handy little shelf above the sink right there. You will always find something to do with pockets like that. Also, over here, we haven't looked at this yet. This is either pantry or linen space, or it's a full closet thanks to these handy little removable shelves. One of the best qualities of the Murphy bed on a Passport, though, is that it doesn't muck with the pass-through storage compartment. You get the same big pass-through here you get on a walk-around bed model, and you can see that easy look at the all-aluminum skeleton here. But notice, in addition to that motion lighting, they also hide the power stabilizer buttons inside of this thing, which I think is a really big deal, so that that unruly, unmonitored neighbor kid who's just sort of wandering around the campgrounds, well, they can't get to your buttons and they can't mess with your jack, so it's not going to mess with the stability or potentially damage your jack system on this. So just another nice thing they do. It's easy to miss. Below that front docking light, you see that courtesy light up front to help you get hitched in the morning or the evening. First of all, it's cool they include that. Secondly, there's a simple solar side connect over there. And as we start looking that way, you see that home plate shaped sticker on the chassis. This rides on an HSLA frame, high strength, low alloy, just like our Winnebagos here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. It's a lighter weight, not less expensive chassis, but it is stronger, and we seem to find the brands that ride on these tend to hold up very, very nicely. Now, if we take a little bit of a knee together, you will see obviously the power stabilizer jacks that these are a good visual indicator, by the way. If you see a Passport has power stabilizers, then it has the walk-on snow roof. They happened at the same time, so the one goes with the other. And all Passports, even here in the SL series, have an enclosed heated belly. Something else that took place at the same time as the walk-on snow load roof, though, is the fact that Passport put these rear cargo doors on the back of any bunkhouse they possibly could. And I'm really happy they did that. I think more and more brands are going to follow suit with this. They are on the ahead of the curve on this one for sure. But that bottom bunk, as we saw inside, can fold up out of the way. But it's not just interior cargo space, it's exterior as well. But here's a neat thing I don't think people think about. If you are a an adventurous individual or couple? What if you like to go kayaking or biking or something? There's a very good chance you could load long, funky shaped cargo into this thing right here because of this cargo bunkhouse. So I personally feel that one feature alone makes this RV more functional for people who, not just small family camping, not just people with limited tow capacities, but people who are looking to be a little more outdoorsy and get up and goey. I think you're going to be happy with what you see here. That power awning covers the newly revised camp kitchen out here. They kind of swapped some things up, and basically they got rid of the dog dish is kind of what it comes up to. And they have a new pull-out kind of cooktop right here, and a handy little interior storage pocket shelf in that, which very handy for like your outside stuff. Like you could fold up your tablecloth and kind of just keep it stuffed up in there. But what's neat is this is giving us the outside shower over here instead of just that little sinky job, which is great for like hosing off the kids or rinsing off your feet before you step inside the RV. And under that stovetop there, it's an all galvanized rolled steel material. So that fridge plus the fridge inside gives us just about 8 cubic foot of total cold storage. So plenty enough for a small RV for a family getaway weekend. And if they're not already on the RV, we will throw those aluminum wheels on these passports 10 times out of 10 because it just gives it a great look. Now, historically, these little SL passports usually ran on a only a double entry step, and it was fine. But people like, when they see that triple step, they feel like, okay, this is one that like they didn't shortchange me on. So Passport said, no big deal. If all we're missing is a step, we'll just put a third step on it. Like, they're very good about doing everything that matters here and nothing that doesn't. This is I think one of the best generations of Passport I've seen. The thought, the logic behind it, the ease and simplicity of operation, they're all enhanced from what they were even 6 months ago. So like I said, at a glance they look the same, but look for those power stabilizers. Look for that rear cargo door. That's the generation you probably want to be honing in on. It does weigh a little bit more. The power jacks, the extra thick roof to be able to fully walk on it, that stuff came, it costs a little bit more money and it adds a little bit more weight. But it does things everybody's going to like that just weren't available before. So give us a call here at Haylett RV and we can run you through this in a little bit more detail. Short of that, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.